Right, welcome back boys and girls to another video. We have got now obviously the engine out of the car. You'll be able to see probably better from this way. So we took off all the ancillaries and stuff like that. So the alternator and stuff like that, whatever. So we're going to tell you or show you how to strip the engine down ready for forging, because obviously as you guys know I will be forging the engine. We've already had parts of this apart just to check out if there's any crack liners and so on before it goes and get linered, which doesn't really make a difference, but yeah. So I'm going to set up the camera and then we're going to take you step by step on how to strip it, clean it and so on, and we'll give you like 2-3 part process. So there'll be three or four videos overall of this whole build. So I shall set up the camera and come back then. I don't know if you can see me. Am I in that full shot?
Yeah, you're just like, it's like an inch above your head now, you're out of the shot.
Okay, pull that, leave it up a little bit. How's that?
Yeah, there's like that.
What about when I stand up?
Half your head's in there. Go higher.
Yeah. How's that good?
Yeah, so there's like that much above your head.
Right guys, so we're going to start by taking out the spark plugs. So you need one of these. I've already cracked them loose. Spark plug tool. And just twist those out. So obviously some of this stuff I will time lapse because you don't need to see me putting out 5 spark plugs. Yeah, so that's one. Obviously repeat the process for the other 4. And make sure you put these somewhere. I'm going to be buying new spark plugs because, well, these are probably ruined, as you can sort of tell. So Sal's just taking off the air conditioner, is it?
Yeah, air conditioning and bracket for the belts.
Yeah. So take it off.
Yeah.
So we're going to take out the VVT solenoids and the sensors on there.
Yeah, cam sensors.
Cam sensors. They don't just pop out. There is some bolts holding them, but I've already took those out. So there's 2 cam sensors. Solenoids. One, 2. So again, put these in a nice clean bag. I'm going to lay them out over here for now. Lovely.
Yeah, air conditioning.
So also we did an aircon delete kit, so once I've ordered that I will show you guys how to do that, but that's going to be like the last part of the engine. So spark plugs are out, the VVT solenoids, the cam sensors. So now there is, I'll show you on top. You've got all these little bolts here. There's like 30, 50 of them. So they go all the way around the block, way around here and all the way through the middle. So these ones here, there's like 4 to every sort of cylinder where the spark plugs go. You want to take out all of those, and then you want to use sort of like a little pry bar or a big thick screwdriver to pop this apart. And like I said, I've already took some of this apart to check it over, so it's going to be a lot easier for me, but you get the gist. So sell the camera again. Total. Right guys, so you get that. So there's 34 bolts in top. You need every single one of them when you're obviously putting this back together. So do not lose them. You can clean up the threads if you want with like a little wire brush or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I think if you buy this new, they're quite expensive, don't they?
Yeah, probably about £1 each.
Yeah, so you're going to spend £34 on a couple of new bolts, which I'm going to do nothing as long as the threads are all okay, which these ones are. So like I said, next step, taking the actual head off. Obviously, like I said, you're going to need like a screwdriver or something. This is already loose, so, but just a couple of tips. Once you pry it off, bang each side and it should rock a bit and release it. I think that's right, Anderson?
Yeah, pretty much. Just lift it up evenly, basically.
Might actually need to get a pry bar back on this.
It's on dowel pin, so it has to kind of come straight up.
How do you want to do it?
Just get a hammer or a screwdriver under it.
I don't know how big my screwdriver. Also, another thing, guys, do not put the screwdriver in these crevices, because if you score it or bend it or whatever, the anaerobic sealant is not going to get a good seal when you put it back on. And then you'll have to get a head skimmed, which obviously I'm doing anyway, so. Or as Sam said, if it's not usable, you have to throw it away and get a new head, which some of these, you can buy them second hand for like 150 quid, but it's not really worth it. Adding more to your build.
A bit more hammer on your side.
Where did you go from?
Mine's just got one to go.
Just there. And like Sam said, there is dowels either side of somewhere, so when you take it off, it's going to be straight. As you can see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty good as well. You change the cams, you've got to take off Torx bit there and the one underneath and on the back side as well. Which is the little T30 and I think T45 or T50.
So obviously listen to Sam on that one, guys, as he said. But these should just come straight out. Also guys, I know we normally always work outside, but we have now brought a little garage to work in because this sort of stuff you can't do outside. You can't let dust particles and dirt get inside, or water from the rain, because we have really bad weather here. So we have invested and now we're going to be doing a lot of work inside this little garage, which as you can see is very well lit.
Let's mark all these up.
Oh yeah, so we need a marker pen, guys. You're going to mark up all the valves. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So there's 10 either side. When you label them, just make sure you know which side you label them from, because obviously you can start from here, here, and so on. So we're going to start from the intake side. So it'll be 1, 3 to 10 intake. Come onto the back on the exhaust, and it'll be 11 to 20. And these come out easier, I think, with a magnet, but you should be okay. Sam's just finding a marker pen now. Bear with me, guys, whilst I grab a marker pen. So guys, we got the first set out. So I don't know if you can see we labelled them. Right, so you're just gonna put that back. We are just literally using one of these just to pop them out.
It's just if you can't do it by hand, or if you got a magnet, you can just pull them straight out. But
sometimes you get a bit stuck, so we're using a couple of tools to get them out. As Sam seems to be struggling.
Just got a magnet, basically.
Yeah, it'd be easier with a magnet, but you get the gist of what we're trying to do. Like I said, you've got the first 10 out, I'm going to take out the second 10, and then we'll come back to you. We found a better pair of grippers. These ones are easier. There you go. There's that. So again, place these somewhere where you're not going to lose them. Again, in order But yeah, so intake and then exhaust. So, and next we'll do the head bolts. So. Right guys, so head bolts next. So what you take is, I believe it's 14 on a ratchet. You're going to turn them 1/8 of a turn starting from the outwards, going inwards. So just go 2, 2, 4, 4, 6, 6, and so on. And then go back again and then do like a 1/4 of a turn and so on. Just try and do it as evenly as possible. Alright, my timing.
You probably need a big breaker bar as well for this.
Yeah, like I said guys, we've already took some of this apart to check the liners and stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot easier for us, so you might use a bigger bar, bigger ratchet and so on. So.
Do they need a new cylinder? You haven't got the new Pistons yet, head bolts, have you?
No, come with Also guys, to get these out, all I'm doing is putting this in, twisting it once, and then just sort of rocking it to the side and dragging it out, like that. So just in case you get stuck. But I'm sure you guys know how to put a couple of bolts out. And these aren't reusable, so you can't reuse these, can you? No, so you need to get new ones. You can go ARP and stuff like that. I'm going with PD150 bolts, trimming off a couple of it and putting a washer. Apparently they're actually a little bit better than the ARP ones for when you're going like 1,000 brake horsepower, so they should be fine. I'm probably never going to take this head apart again after this because it's going to be linered and forged, so unless it breaks, they will be staying in. And they cost a fraction of the cost, they're like £45. And you need 12 of them, not 10. So guys, so all you're doing now is just tap it a few times and it should come off. There you go. It's all off. Again, these are on like little dowels as well. Got 2 there. And we'll show you what the pistons look like and all the crap that's in there. So again, this has been opened before, that's why it looks so bad. But we'll show you what a crap liner looks and stuff like that, if this has any. So guys, we've cracked a few of these bolts here loose as well on the crank. They shouldn't be super duper tight, but these ones apparently were, so we just had to use a breaker bar on some of the smaller ones. I think they're 10 mils and then the middle one's 30 mil. But you do need to crack the crank loose before taking this out, otherwise it'd be practically impossible, right?
Yeah, so you can't take the crank out without taking the oil pump off. You can't take the oil pump off without this off.
So yeah, so you need to get this off before you start obviously stripping down the head as well. The block. So, because obviously you need to get the pistons in it out as well. But we're just going to clean up around the cylinders and show you what a crack liner does look like, because I believe this does have a crack liner. This is not my original engine, by the way. My old engine sold. I got this on exchange because it works out more cost efficient to sell my engine and reliner an engine. So I've pretty much got a reliner engine for free. So I will explain how that works out. I'll do a whole cost video at another time as well once it's all done. But we're just going to clean up this and then show you where the crack liner is, so I shall return once that's done. Alright guys, so this is where the crack liner is. So we cleaned it up. It's going to be pretty hard to see if you pull your torch back a bit. So as you can see, right where my finger is, that little dark line there, that is a crack liner. So as you can see, mullered, mate. It's out of use. It'll just keep burning coolant and you'll have all those issues that you get with a crack liner. So that's why this is getting relinered, because it'll be more cost efficient, like I said, selling my engine and relinering a new block. So next up, we're going to take the pistons out. So we take the sump off. So we take the sump off, so we spin this whole thing upside down, take the sump off. Again, there's a lot of screws to that as well, some longer than others, but we will show you how to do that. So yeah, let's get the camera set up and then take you through that. So we're gonna turn it over first and then run you step by step on what to do. Right guys, just before we do take off the sump, obviously now take off your crank and your water pump. So again, these are just 10 mil, I believe. Yeah, 10 mil. So just a little impact gun. I've already cranked them loose. Again, don't lose these because you'll probably be using them. I've got a new water pump to go on those, so I will be replacing that. Take these off quickly, yeah. Go, keep this, keep that, knock that off, didn't you? Or?
Yeah, we'll take this 10 mils on that little plastic bracket as well. Timing up, cover.
Where is that? Oh. And down this side, guys, there's two 10 mils for those plastic shit that goes all the way around. They look like this, so don't lose them. Lovely bit of leaf. So that. Yeah.
You kind of need like a big primer, I guess.
Yeah, so as Sam was saying in the background, guys, you need to knock this off. Pretty better if you have a pry bar or something like that, so you're just going to knock it, put it away. But yeah, we shall come back once that's off. Alright guys, so we've got the crank and water pump off. Might need a little bit of prying. We'll turn it over now and then do the sump. So I know we said we did the sump first, but we're not, so. Which way you go? So yeah guys, you might have oil leaking out because they don't dry out all the time, so yeah. So I changed the angle of the camera and we will take you off on step by step. I'll take this, we're going to let the oil drain for a little bit and then we'll come back. Right guys, so as you saw from our poor cinematics, all the oil sump bolts are out. There's only a few long ones which are normally on this side with the gearboxes, and maybe like one or two here and so on. But now you're just going to again use that sort of pry method where you pry up the sump. Again, don't shove the screwdriver in there. So just give it a couple of knocks and it should come out. Oh. You guys, so oil sump is off.
Clutch it.
Yeah, so obviously make sure to clean this out before you put the engine back together as well. Like for some reason there's leaves in mine, so again, as Sam just said, 2 10 mils to take out the baffle.
Oil pickup.
Oil pickup even. Might get stuck with the oil seal there. Obviously these are all being replaced. And yeah, like Sam's doing, just put the bolts back in so you don't lose them. And obviously then we're going to start, what we do next, taking out the
2 10 mils on each of the rod caps. Same idea with the head bolts, just crack them up 1/8 of a turn, each one.
And a quarter turn and so on until they become loose, and then take them all the way out. And obviously, yeah. Obviously all this being replaced, all new pistons, rods, bearings in the rods as well, so we don't need any of the old stuff. Alright, so we shall time-lapse this part and then come back to you once it's done. Right guys, so we take off the rod end caps. So there's 2 per rod. Sam's gonna do that just for a second. But like we said before, 1/8 of a turn on each, then a 1/4 turn, and then just keep repeating that until they're pretty loose, and then you can just unscrew them. Once they're unscrewed, we're then just gonna pretty much knock the pistons out and down, and then we'll just inspect the pistons rods to see if there's any extra damage that we weren't aware of, but it should be fine. So I shall come back once we're putting out the pistons. Right guys, so all the bolts are pretty much loose, so to put them off, we'll show you the condition of them. Give it a wipe. So this engine's actually in pretty good nick. I'm pretty sure it was only on like 60 or 70,000 miles, but they look like brand new. There's like no scoring on them or anything. So it was a good, very good engine, just minor the crack liner. So again, put these all to one side and do not mix up. So this is number 1, we're going 1 to 5 this way. Again, they're like brand new, so obviously this engine was very looked after. We'll check the pistons after for any cracks or anything like that, but we're just gonna move on. Yeah guys, so we're going to take out the 4 bolts on the oil pump. So I think they're torque bits. 230. Yeah, 230, so those 4, and then all these as well?
Yes, you got one there.
So let me grab the camera guys and show you, because I'm running out of memory on my camera, so I'll have to hurry along or move to my other camera. So these torque bits are on here. And you're going to take out all of these ones in here, is that right, Sam? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way around.
And then you got 12 across the
Yeah, so these 12 here, the main bolts are they?
Yeah, the main
bolts. So all of those, again, repeat the process we did in the head. So 1/8 of a turn, then a 1/4 turn, starting from the outwards in, and then we'll show you the crank afterwards. So I won't record this part because my camera's going to run out of battery. So I shall catch you in a second once it's all out and stripped. Yeah. So Sam's going to take the oil pump off, guys, whilst I find my glass. Sam probably won't talk because he doesn't talk, apparently.
I can pull it off, yeah. Just slightly work around, leave the bolts in until you pull it out fully. And
Okay. Keeping this, not getting rid of it.
yeah.
Yeah. So obviously now the crank's exposed pretty much. But like I said, we're going to take out all those bolts inside now. I'll try and get a better angle if I can for you guys. Alright guys, let me just pop the... Oh, you can see from there. So like I said, guys, inside of the, like, I don't know what you want to call these, like, the openings is like 2 bolts per side.
Yeah,
well,
okay.
1, 2, 1 here.
It's like a girdle, cradle.
Yeah, so where the openings are, there's 2 on the top side, or 1.
Yeah, you
So
start with 10 mils. Start with 10 mils on the outside, working from the outside inwards, and then you do it to 14 mils, same thing as the head bolt, crack them.
So as Sam said previously, 1/8 for the turn, then a 1/4 turn, and then repeat that from the outwards in.
shouldn't be too heavy. Okay. And then just got to take the top section off that.
What, these two bolts?
Yeah, so what we could do, if you've got spanners big enough, is you can move, got to move that bolt, put it onto there, and there.
Well, then we can put it back on.
Put the bottom half back on, yeah, to work on.
Alright. Well guys, engine's down here now, so once we get it set up, ready for the next part, I'll resume the camera back on.
Okay, 14.
Right guys, so change plan, so we'll just do it on the floor because pretty much this is like the last step. So we'll start at 10 mils, which are these ones, and they're all loose now, aren't they?
Yep.
Obviously you are replacing these boxes.
Side as well.
There you go. Loose?
Yeah. Straight up.
There you go. That's what that looks like.
Main bearings.
And Sam's just pouring oil everywhere, but
Main bearings are good though.
yeah.
Oil's everywhere anyway.
I don't know space to put all this stuff.
Prop it up against the wall.
Just put that little bit of that sheet down. That's how everything works. Should be nothing.
And then crank, same way, straight up.
Just put it up.
Yep, you got it.
So this is like the most important part, guys, because if this is not good, it's I think $1,000 for a brand new one in it or something like that. Some ridiculous money. Pretty good for second-hand ones, but and it's rather heavy. I think this is what weighs the most in the block.
Yep.
There's a space over there.
Couple 10 mils basically.
I don't know.
All that's fine.
Yeah, I know we're there.
Basically just these, and then you've got the other side of the bearing. Pretty much mint around there. You can reuse all those.
That's number one, isn't it?
I forget which side's the inlet, which side exhaust. Doesn't really matter, but yeah. So it's just these 10 mils we're going to take out there.
Yeah. Okay.
Take them off.
So that sounds so, guys. There's oil squirted in here. When I put them out, but they're just 10 mil bolts. I'll put them out and show you. They squirt all onto the rods and pistons, don't they? Pretty much.
Yeah, just to the bottom
losing
to lubricate the small end of the piston basically. You just want to clean them all out, clean the hole.
So that's what it looks like, guys.
Yeah.
That little looks like a little hook, but it is well, I can't really see it on the camera, but it's obviously hollow all the way through.
That's it. Yeah.
That's pretty much how to strip down the engine. We put all this on the bench and then take you step by step what everything does and what we are going to be changing over and so on. So I shall catch you guys in 5-10 minutes when we've got everything cleared up and put on. Yeah, so Sam took this guy out, guys. It's the piston oil meter squirter. So basically tells you how much oil to be sent through to the squirters. It was just in there. And obviously we unscrewed it to get out. You need to clean this thoroughly before you put it back in on the build. So yeah, but pretty much done with this block, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah, done with this. So like I said, we're gonna get it up there onto the workbench with everything else. And then we shall get it all clean. And then like I said, take you step by step on what we are changing, what we are using and so on. So we shall, yeah, catch you in a second. Right guys, so as you can see behind me is the whole engine stripped down. So obviously we've got the sump, obviously I don't know, it's like the block, intermediate block, that's the main block, the crank, I think the camera's quite tight. There you go. The crank, which is in perfect condition, as you can see, the head, all the valves, cams, cover, the cam cover, and then obviously the accessory bits like the oil squares and oil pump and so on. So obviously we are changing these to stage 2 Newman cams. Pistons, K1 rods with, I believe, Wiseco, whatever. Pistons. Crankstone same, just got to get new main bearings, obviously new rod bearings as well. Glyco, I think I'm using, yeah, Glyco on both. That's pretty much it really, obviously, other than all new brand new gaskets, head seals. Got a new head gasket here, so that'll be going in. Once A&E Motorsport have sent me out my kit, I would run you through everything we're doing, but the block is getting sent off and drilled out, rebored and relined, so it'll be still 83mm, which is like the standard bore, but it'll be ductile liners or something like that. So it'll be reinforced, so you won't get cracked liners and stuff like that unless you're running ridiculous power. But I've only got about a minute left of recording, but I shall see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this helped you guys strip down your engine so that you can forge your own engine. Yeah, this is a learning curve, so we will try to get everything spot on. But yeah, I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye.